Hey guys, big news. Right in Pat's wheelhouse because he loves cats. He's a
Are
cat
cats in the
person.
news? All
Oh,
right.
Cat
cats are in the
news.
news. There's
Yeah.
big cat news, and it involves your favorite video platform, Zoom, and a lawyer. And I don't know if have you guys seen this video where he
course.
is in front of a judge?
There's literally not a single person who owns a cell phone or computer in the world who hasn't seen this video today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so somehow
It's amazing.
he goes in front of the judge. I'm assuming this is some kind of deposition or something they're doing remotely, and he's put a filter on his Zoom where it's just a cat. And let's see what happens.
Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings.
Look at the cat's eye.
We're trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I'm not, that is the best line. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Yeah, it's this is brilliant. I think he did it on purpose. He's not even an old man. He's definitely just faking that old man voice.
Pretty fucking old. I mean, that's such
it's
basic
great.
human nature too. It's for him to. He's so flustered in that moment that he kind of almost lashes out like it's everyone else's fault. Like I'm not a cat.
Yeah,
Still
right.
take this legal testimony from me.
Oh God! I mean, it's like I remember when we first started doing the podcasts, and I didn't want to edit, but like so I'd be like, I'd get so fucking pissed if I fucked something up and I had to edit it or something that I'd just get all flustered, and that same vibe where you're just like when you're on the spot or like
Yeah,
you know, and
God.
it's the worst. But it's cute. This guy's very
I
cute.
love this video. I think it's hilarious. Just imagine that state of panic he was in when he was seeing himself on the screen. He's presenting to a judge and he's got the opposing attorney on screen and he's just this adorable kitten and the eyes are just going
The eyes.
Well, and think about what's going through the mind of the judge. Like at first, he's probably like, "Is this guy trying to score some sympathy points? Did he research me and knows that I'm a cat person or what?" Like,
I think
What a
it's
nice,
great.
what a nice judge. Like like he's so nice about it.
He
He's
is.
just like, I think you have a filter, maybe bottom right. He's like telling him how to do it.
yeah, it would have been perfect if he thought that he had cut his mic and you just heard him muttering his fucking Zoom pandemic bullshit.
I
This
would
shit
also
again like.
How much would you have rather the judge was just like, you know what, let's move forward. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You just got this
Like,
little
great.
kitty cat just defending his murder. I assume it's a murder.
Yeah.
Every law trial has to be a murder.
Something
Yeah.
terrible. But
By the way,
also, like,
yeah.
there's, this is sort of an indication of just like people who aren't great with technology having to work in this pandemic era. I've heard a bunch of stories of people who think they're muting their mic, but they're just muting their own sound.
Oh God.
So they're muting their computer, but
Right.
not their own mic. So they'll
Sure.
just like turn down the sound and then be like, "This guy's such a fucking moron," and everyone else hears them in the Zoom meeting. It's like I
Oh,
guarantee
that's
it's happening
brutal.
more than you think.
What's really
yeah, but
fun?
dude, fucking Colonel Sanders in this video figured it out. Like, look at the guy above the cat. He got it right. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that confusing. I mean, and that's coming from me and you, Patrick, who are terrible, terrible, terrible with technology. Like, it's not that
Well,
bad.
You gotta.
No, it's not.
First of all, when I'm watching this, I'm picturing what's happening behind the cat. Like, you got to imagine this guy's like, like move back, and the assistant's over, like freaking out, trying to turn the cat filter off. And it's like, and second of all, how did this cat filter get on? Did is somebody
His
playing a prank on him?
grandkids- His grandkids visited and they were playing on his computer the day
Yeah.
before.
Makes sense.
Facts.
It's true. I mean, but
This reminds me. Well, Patrick's talking about how people mute the wrong thing and talk about their boss. So I was a terrible older brother. I was great, by the way. Beat up every one of my little sister's boyfriends. So awesome older brother, actually. But also, would just barge in and standard older brother stuff. I remember my sister had like her first real job and was still living at home, as was I. And and she was on the phone. I can't remember what I barged into her room for, but I barged into her room for something, and she was like on this important work call. It's probably like about mowing lawns, but you know what I mean? It was like important at the time. And she literally, I remember she goes like this over the top of the phone, right, instead of the bottom, because it was like the old, remember the old phones, the old like on the hook phone. And she goes like this. She goes, "Fuck off, Forrest." Or no, she didn't say my name. She just goes, "Fuck off," and then goes back to talking. And I was literally like, and I watched, and her face just went ghostly white because she realized what she had done. She covered the top, the earpiece instead of the bottom piece. And you could just tell whoever was on the other line was like, "Excuse me?"
Sorry, what?
That's
What
a
did I do?
nightmare.
And it was all my fault. You know, she was like, fuck, she hung up. She was just livid. And she's like, "You're the worst brother ever. Like, you got me in trouble, blah, blah, blah." And I was like on the floor laughing because it was so funny.
By the way, if that was a scene in a movie, she would have turned purple, and then with horror, and then on the other end of the phone, the person would have said, "I like your moxie, kid. You're hired."
Right, you get the job. Yeah.
It never works out that way in real life, but in movies it does.
Hey,
Except the one time you interviewed Johnny Harrington, which we'll have to bring up at some point.
When we get him on the show, we'll talk about his interview technique.
This one's pretty good. This is pretty. I can't believe how viral this thing and how it went and how fast. Like, it's crazy when you see a new viral video. I'm just like, well, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like, it could be fucking anything. Like, and here's the proof behind that. You know,
Totally.
I'll tell you what, man, that video gives me anxiety, to be honest, because I'm just like, I see lawyers and judges, and I'm like, I don't ever want any of that to be part of my life, ever. I don't like any of those people. I went to jury duty, and I overslept because I was still on the jury, and I missed the next day of jury duty, and it was too late.
Man.
And I had to show up for a contempt of court hearing.
Oh, boy.
And by the way, contempt of court, if they find you guilty, that it's not a trial. The judge can just find that you were in contempt, and you can sit in jail for 5 days if they don't like your face. If they don't like your face. So now I've got a whole day to think about this.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And so I showed up, just super, super, super apologized. Was like, I screwed up. There's literally no excuse. I would love another opportunity. And he's like, "Yeah, you got the right attitude. Great. Just go back and sign up again." But you feel like you're about 2 inches tall stepping in front of the judge.
Sure.
Oh yeah, it's built that way.
He's up on that on the little, what is it, podium, pew? I don't even know what it is. He's up on the thing with the gavel.
Bench, I think they call it. Yeah,
the bench.
He's literally just got a mallet that makes noise, to make a loud banging noise to scare the shit out of everybody.
It's great.
Seriously,
Be
right?
quiet. Yeah.
Man.
A robe.
Right. Well, if you're watching this, don't get in trouble. Don't go to court.
Don't do that.
Don't turn on the kitty filter if you've got a hearing.
Maybe,
That's the
turn
advice. This is important. No, this is important. People, we're going to change people's lives with this podcast. Don't get in trouble. Don't stand in front of a judge or sleep in when you got jury duty. And don't turn on the kitty filter, period.
Well, and what about don't fuck with your sister? Come on. You're not going to take any personal responsibility?
No, 100% her fault. She knew I lived in the house.
Also,
She knew I was a
learn how
nightmare.
phones work.
Yeah, learn how phones
You want to
work.
get a job, you better know which end of the phone records this talky part.
That's right.
Yeah. So be sure and pass this video along to your best friend, because they don't know how a phone works.
Give it a like. Press the subscribe. Good night.
Wink. Good night.